We do a lot of explaining away myths. We talk about a lot of the books today have things in them that are not correct when you go back to the actual records. Sort of like the report that General Gaines wrote on the battle he fought on the Withlacoochee. According to his report, he was the victor, and everything was on the side of the soldiers. However, General Gaines was down. He was out of food, he was out of water. He had been under siege for 18 days, and he was down to less than 5 bullets per man. He was surrounded by 1,500 Seminole with unlimited resources, and yet when he sent a rider up to Fort Drane to get General Clinch, instead of saying, I'm out of food, I'm out of water, and I'm about to give out of bullets, so I'm going to be massacred, instead the message that he sent up said, now that I have gathered all the Seminole in one spot together, you can help me come down and defeat them. What went in the history books was that he won the battle. Well, the truth was, the Seminole just got tired of fighting and left. They decided, well, to heck with it, we don't need to kill these guys, and they left. So what I try to talk to people and tell people is the fact that the books were written by the winners, not by the people that should have written it, or the people who think they won. The military always wrote that they never lost a battle, because that was derogatory. So you never lost. You always had a tie or you won, always.
We represent 1830 settlers. The women, they're doing their looming and weaving and things like that. The one with the ring, that's the most fun. And the sticks there is called braces. And it's a game that was originally a girls' game. I think back in the early 1800s. You got the one with the stick with the loop, trying to put that on. And a lot of these games were, well, of course, we didn't have Walmarts or anything, so it'd be games that were made and passed down. The grandparents or whatever would make the games for the children. Give them some playtime, because they had help too. Usually I practice beforehand, so the kids don't show me up, but they really enjoy competition when we do it. Good, for the camera, I'm so glad.
Good, because Karen was asking about it, so Margie has a look.
Blacksmith made every tool that you needed to do work. So if you had a project, it didn't matter what you were doing. You had to go see the blacksmith before you could work. You were going to dig the hole, put the foundation in. You had to have, the blacksmith would have to make you the shovel. If your town didn't have a blacksmith in it, chances were good your town was not going to stay there. A farmer couldn't go out in the field and break down and have to hook up the team and drive 35 miles to where there was a blacksmith. Now, at this point, the metal's very soft and it doesn't look like it'd do much of anything.
His name is Steve too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he's one of our cars.
They did. They figured out if they put a twist in a flat piece of metal.
Okay. All right.
Come back and talk to him.
All right.
And if you look, the top is getting tighter than the bottom.
How do you do that?
So if I cool the top off a little bit, I can finish the twist on the bottom, and you can see that with very little energy, that would be a serviceable drill.
What I've done is tie a piece of cord to one of Steve's hooks. I'm going to lay it on there. I've learned to incorporate what he makes and what I make, so it's a little bit of both of our craft.
They can be done totally on the end of the horn, but what happens when you do that is each one's just a little different size.
I just keep going around and going around until I have enough to make a broom with.
...2011 is the second year that the Alligator Warrior Festival has been located here at Olino State Park. And it's a beautiful location for the fact that we're just on the edge of Columbia County and Alachua County. And since we're reenacting a battle from Alachua and also celebrating Columbia County history, being that the Alligator Warrior Festival, Alligator Warrior was from where Lake City is today. And the original name of Lake City was Alligator Village and later Alligator Town. We have reenactors who come from all around the state of Florida, as well as Georgia and Alabama. So those representing the Seminole, the Miccosukee, and the Creek communities. We also have a lot of our Cherokee brothers and sisters who come out to join with us to represent our history here of the Second Seminole War. The Second Seminole War, the reason that was fought was because the United States government had decided to remove all Indians from the east of the Mississippi to the west of the Mississippi. And that meant that we had to leave our homes. And we didn't agree with this policy, and so we fought against it. But because we had just recently established a reservation in 1823, and basically covering most of the southern part of Florida, the soldiers then knew where all of our villages were. So if we stayed in our homes, well, it was easy to round us up. So to evade capture and to remain in Florida, we left our homes behind, and we did what we are used to doing every fall, which was leave home, pack up, and go camping. And that's what we do every year, to go hunting and to gather up and smoke a bunch of meat and then bring it back to the village, that we would eat that meat through the winter and then into the spring. But that was our annual hunting expedition. So what you see here represented is the hunting camps that we lived in during the Second Seminole War to evade capture. And some of our traditions that you'll see here as a result, for example, you'll see our traditional style fires, our traditional dwellings, the way we slept, the kind of chairs we sat on, the kind of tools and implements that we had in camp.
Confusion, a lot of myths that we try to dispel, and also the fact that they were not warlike people. The Seminole were very friendly. They seemed different in different ways, like when I grew up with the Seminole, and the ones I grew up with, if you walked up and you talked to a young lady, she would talk to you like this, looking down. To the people talking, that was an insult. She wouldn't look at them in the face. To a Seminole, to look at someone in the face is an insult. To look down is good manners. when two Seminole men will sit talk in the old way, they will sit side by side, staring off into the woods or out in front of them. They will sit there and talk to each other but never look at each other, because they are listening to the words and not letting the expression on the face lead them astray. Because certain words, if you change just a little bit on the end of the word, you have changed the total meaning. Just with a change of the tone of your voice, you've changed it to mean something other than what it was. And the white men would come up and the Indian would not look them in the eyes. He'd stand there and turn and speak looking off. The soldiers thought that was an insult, when in reality that was paying them an honor and saying, I will speak to you as I do my brother. So what I try to do is dispel a lot of the myths, a lot of the things that's not true that are in our books today. For instance, it says in the books, they'll tell you that the Indians, if they gave out of food, they would take the old people out and dump them in the forest so they'd die and the others could have the food. Well, that's a total myth. The old people sometimes would walk off on their own so that the young could have food. But they were not taken out, because your youth is your future. Your elders are your knowledge. You do not do away with your future or your knowledge. You must keep it. So they were always honored. In a village with 50 homes, a child had 50 homes and 100 parents. An elder had 50 homes he could stay in because he was totally protected. So there's a lot of stuff like that that I try to straighten out some of the myths.